Assalamu alaikum students. We will discuss today the party system in India and the coalition government in India. Party system, that means the different political parties in India. There are two kinds of political parties in India. That's national parties and regional parties. First of all, we will see national parties. National parties, there are many political parties in India. Some of them have their presence all over India, are known as national parties. So we can say those parties which have the popularity, which is famous all over the India, which has its presence all over the India, that are called national parties. Like we have the example of Indian National Congress, that is present everywhere. You can see the symbol of Indian National Congress with her hand. Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, that is all over the India. Even today the government of India is led by the BJP party, national party. They have the flower as a symbol, election symbol of them, lotus flower. And third is the Communist Party of India. There is a symbol of Communist CPI, Communist Party of India. These are the national parties who have the presence all over the India. Now, these parties are capable of forming a government on their own if voted into power. So we can say that if these parties, not if, but they led the election, these parties contest the election, they are capable of forming the government of its own. That means, for example, we have the BJP. BJP has the majority party. Today's times, the government has the majority of seats. They don't need any coalition government. They don't need any other party for forming a government, but they have their own majority parties. They have their own seats. That's why they formed their government and became powerful government in India. The Election Commission identifies a party as a national party. As I earlier discussed at this point, that Election Commission of India, that party gave the recognition, that party gave the symbols, that party allotted the seats, or that party allotted the candidates of political party which wants to contest the election. This is the Election Commission of India which identifies which is national party and which is regional party. If it has its presence in more than 4 states, so a national party which has its presence in more than 4 states, we will see this in the next point. So we can say that the national parties are Indian National Congress, Bharatiya Janata Party, Communist Party of India, which has a presence all over the India. It is this party, national party, which if contests the election forms the government of its own. It doesn't need another party if its seats are more than enough, if its seats are in majority. So we have an example of BJP party which is in the majority and which has formed its government at present. Earlier we saw that if the national parties, they have the national presence, if their power is more than in 4 states, they can form the majority party all over the India. And the second part is the regional parties. These we have 2 types, that's national parties and regional parties. National parties have the presence all over the India. They can form their own government if they get the majority of seats. If there is more than the power of political party of a national political party in more than 4 states, that party is in majority. We have the Bharatiya Janata Party, Congress and CPI, the examples of national parties. Now the regional parties. Regional parties, these parties whose influence is limited to 1 or 2 states. Regional parties have less influence as compared to national parties. These have their influence is limited to 1 or 2 states. Influence means that their impression, their power, their presence is limited to 1 or 2 states. Regional parties play an important role in diverse countries like India because they represent the people of particular state or region. Regional parties as we are discussing it in the Indian context, in India we have many regional parties. India is represented not only by the national parties or regional parties, but regional parties limited to religion, limited to caste, limited to region, limited to state. That means even from the castes, from the regions, from the religions, the regional different religion parties came on the basis of religion, on the basis of region. These small parties or the regional parties came and form a political party. These parties are formed on the basis of language, caste, even religion. These parties seek to highlight problems of the groups, regions they represent. That means regional parties have influence limited to one or two states. In India, we have many regional parties. These regional parties are formed on the basis of language, caste, even the religion. These regional parties, why these regional parties emerge? Because they highlight the different problems related to their religion, related to their region, related to their area, related to their state, so that the people can cast them vote and they become a political party and they will solve the problems of the people. These are the examples of regional parties in India, like the Bahujan Samajwadi Party BSP in Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand Mukti Morcha JMM in Jharkhand, the Assam Gana Parishad AGP in Assam, the AIDMK and DMK in Tamil Nadu, the Shiv Sena in Maharashtra, the Rashtriya Janata Dal RJD, the Lok Jan Shakti Party in Bihar, the Trinamool Congress in West Bengal are some of the important regional parties in India. These are the regional parties. The National Congress, Indian National Congress, Bharatiya Janata Party, CPI, Communist Party of India, these are the national parties, but these are the regional parties of India. Now we will see the meaning of coalition. First of all, we see the party system in India, that we have two types, that is national parties and regional parties. National parties have the presence at all over the India, and regional parties have limited influence to one or two states. These are formed whether based on the language, caste or religion. Now we will see the meaning of coalition. Coalition means a temporary alliance for combined action, especially of political parties forming a government. Coalition means an alliance, a group for a combined work, for a combined action. Especially coalition is used for political parties for forming a government. Now we will see what is the coalition government. So, a coalition government is a form of government in which political parties cooperate, reducing the dominance of any one party within that coalition. It means a coalition government is a form of government in which different political parties cooperate and reduce the dominance of any one party within that coalition. We can also explain it like this: if there is an election and no party gets the majority of votes for forming a government. For example, if a party needs 150 votes for forming a government and no party gets that particular quota of votes, if more than two parties come together and form the government, and those three parties put their seats together and they form a coalition government. So there is no dominance of one party, but there is mutual understanding of these three parties. They form the coalition government, and that coalition government will make the laws and policies for the people of India. So a coalition government is a form of government in which political parties cooperate with each other, put the dominance of one party below, and they cooperate, mutually understand, mutually put the decisions, mutually form the policies for the people. The usual reason for this arrangement is that no party of its own can achieve a majority in the election. This point we discussed, that no party gets the majority of seats in the election, then 2-3 parties come together and form a coalition government. Now we will see some merits of coalition government. Merits means what are the favors or what are the things which favor the coalition government, which are in the favor of coalition government, or which help us in the what things help the coalition government, or what are the benefits of coalition government. Merits: consensus or majority based decision are taken considering views of every party. It means consensus or majority based decisions are taken. That means all the members, political party members, put their views, and all the views, all the opinions are heard by everyone. So then a concrete decision, then a one decision on the basis of consensus, on the basis of mutual understanding, a decision is taken by the political party or the coalition government for whole country or for whole the government. Regional aspirations are fulfilled or considered. That means regional aspirations are fulfilled or considered. It means that there are different parties, like regional parties are also, national parties are also. Coalition is made by the national party and regional party. So that means the regional aspirations, the states aspirations, the parties which came from regions, the parties which came from based on language, based on religion, based on caste, their aspirations, their needs are also fulfilled by this government. Coalition government favors nationalism and lowers regionalism. But the coalition government gives preference to nation. It lowers regionalism. It doesn't. Regions are, states are considered, the people are considered, the region are considered, but it gives more preference to nation. The party, the coalition government take those decisions which are beneficial for the nation. It doesn't put only decisions for particular region or particular group of people, but it takes those decisions which are favorable to all. It lowers tyranny of government. It means the government doesn't get dictator or doesn't put the pressure or the false policies or doesn't become cruel on the people, but it does or it put the decisions or it makes the decisions for the welfare of the people. Another thing is more responsible government. Coalition government is more responsible government because not only one political party forms it, but different political parties form it, so that they become more and more responsible. These are the merits of coalition government. The demerits of coalition government are, as you know, everything has merits and demerits. Everything has benefits and flaws. So the demerits of coalition government is it decline in office of CM and PM. As we know that there is a coalition government, there are chaos and confusion also. There is decline in office of CM and PM. That means a party will decide that PM will be in the office for 2 years from our party. The another party said that the PM will be from our party for another 2 years. So there is decline in office of CM and PM. Increase the power of governor. As we know that in states there is chief minister, but governors are appointed when the center wants it, when there is any emergency. So there comes the power of government, which is appointed by the center in the states. Mockery of ministerial responsibility. There is a teasing. Mockery means teasing of ministerial responsibility, that ministers, their responsibility, they doesn't get fulfilled towards the people. Increase power of bureaucracy. Bureaucracy or the bureaucrats are those officers, those administrators who are under the work of, who are under the ministers, or these are the administrative workers called bureaucrats. These bureaucracy is under the ministry. So when the ministers are not fulfilling their job, there comes the increased power of bureaucracy. Their power increases more and more. Their responsibility increases more and more. Center-state disputes. And there is coalition government between the center and state, there comes also disputes also. Emergence of super cabinet. When we have different parties together to form a government, for example, here we have today the BJP, the majority party rule. There is no coalition government in BJP today. They only need a cabinet meeting, that's it. But when there is coalition government, there needs a emergence of super cabinet. That means super cabinet means ministers from one party, ministers from another party, ministers from another party. So the coalition government needs a coalition super cabinet. That means super cabinet means ministers from different parties come to form a super cabinet. Cabinet means those ministers which are under the prime minister, which have the portfolios like the finance minister, defense minister, education minister. All these are in the cabinet. So the demerits are decline in office of CM and PM, increase the power of governor, mockery of ministerial responsibility, increased power of bureaucracy, center-state disputes, emergence of super cabinet. So this was about this unit, the institutional representation of democracy. We saw universal adult franchise, we saw elections, we saw the Election Commission of India, the party system, the different party symbols, different election symbols, or the different political parties, whether from national parties, regional parties, the coalition government. So this was all about the institutional government of India, or the institutional representation of government, institutional representation of government. So that we can say in nutshell that all these institutions, whether elections, whether election commission, whether the party system, whether the coalition government, all these institutions represent the power of democracy. So democracy gives us these institutions. It is the democracy which gives the power to people. It's the democracy which gives the power to people to choose their representatives, and they form the policies and laws for the people in return. The democracy gives the power to people that they can choose their representatives or they can remove them also. Thank you so much.